It's hard to really say how many times Dragon Ball Z's story has been told and retold at this point.
Vegeta, how many times has this story been retold?
Over 9,000!
Okay, cool. That's our obligatory over 9,000 reference. Got that checked off. Regardless, there seems to be something special brewing in this latest entry in the storied Dragon Ball Z series of games, so here's everything you need to know about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. First, it's developed by CyberConnect 2. If you're unfamiliar with CyberConnect 2, chances are high you're probably not a huge Naruto fan, as they've been the developers behind the fantastic Naruto Ultimate Ninja and Ultimate Ninja Storm series. They're also well known for the Dot Hack games, but if you ask me, the one game that is most relevant in this discussion is Asura's Wrath. Why does Asura's Wrath matter in a Dragon Ball Z game? Because Asura's Wrath is literally anime the game, right down to the eye catches at the midpoint of every chapter, even to the next episode previews at the end. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot seems to be going for the very same kind of thing, with every chapter being made to feel like an episode of the anime, complete with the classic Dragon Ball narrator reading the episode titles at the start of the chapter. Beyond that though, if there's one thing that CyberConnect 2 has proven over the years, it's that they are the masters of anime spectacle. And I honestly can't think of a better developer to handle the more spectacular moments of Dragon Ball Z story than them.
You fool!
Number 2, it's an action RPG. The biggest departure for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot compared to previous Dragon Ball games is that it's a full-blown action RPG, complete with character levels, a world to explore, NPCs to talk to, side quests to take on, items to use, moves to equip, and so on. Number 3, but it's also kind of a fighting game. It's important to note that even though Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is an action RPG, it's also not super far off from the previous 3D Dragon Ball fighting games as far as combat is concerned. The fighting system felt very similar to previous Dimps and Spike developed Dragon Ball Z games, and also a little bit like CyberConnect 2's own Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. It's still a 3D arena fighter with the camera locked to your opponent, giving you freedom to move towards, away, and around your enemy. There's a button for melee attacks, for key attacks, one to charge your meter, dodge, super dash, guard, and if you hold down the shoulder button, you can utilize one of 4 special moves, like a Kamehameha, a Meteor Smash, and one of those super cool gut punches they always do in the anime, and more. The big difference here is that the fighting system isn't being balanced with PvP in mind. It's PvE all the way, which allows CyberConnect 2 to tip the scales in the opponent's favor from time to time, and have them utilize special moves that break the typical rules of combat. Number 4, this game really likes the song Chala Head Chala. As it should, that song is awesome. Listen to how cheerful it sounds while Goku is exploring.
Hi there!
And then listen to how hype it sounds in the battle against Raditz. Number 5, there are some non-canonical elements. While it seems like the main story of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will follow the main plot of DBZ to a T, it also seems like there's going to be plenty of room for the developers to play a little loose with the series canon through side quests. In the short E3 demo, we already caught a glimpse of that with Goku reuniting with Ader, who sends him on a quest to destroy some robot that is causing a bit of a ruckus. Number 6, Goku can fish with his tail. Speaking of non-canonical elements, apparently Goku still has his tail. He stuffed it somewhere in his gi, and he can stick it back into his tailbone and fish with it. You know what, some of you might think this is dumb, but I'm here for it. It makes no sense, but it shows a willingness to be weird, and I think that's super important for a game like this.
Oh, get a load of that!
Number 7, side activities. In addition to fishing, Goku seems to be able to engage in several other side activities. He can fly around collecting Z-orbs, a form of currency. He can hunt deer to collect meat, which can be eaten to give him a boost to his melee attack stat. He can mine ore, and if we take a look at the area map on the Dragon Radar, there's also areas for him to hunt dinosaurs, trade in materials at a trader, and cook food. Number 8, the world map. Unfortunately, we don't have any video footage of this, but it is something that I was able to experience in my hands-on demo, and we do have an image from Bandai Namco. If you fly as high as you can go, eventually you'll leave the area you're in, and end up in a world map where you can overlook the various areas that you can travel to. In this image, we see Luca Village, which is where the Saiyan pod of Raditz lands, Olive Village, which I've never heard of, Goku's house, Kame House, where Master Roshi lives, Orange City, which is later renamed Satan City after the Cell games, and is the city where Gohan and Videl go to high school, and Yamcha's hideout, which is interesting because Yamcha's hideout really doesn't have any significance at all to the story of Dragon Ball Z. It's worth mentioning that in my hands-on time, I was able to pan the camera to the left and notice a few other key locations, like the site of the World Martial Arts Tournament, a rocky field that served as a site for Vegeta and Goku's fight, and another city or two that I unfortunately don't remember the names of. I wasn't able to take any pictures or footage, so unfortunately this is all going off memory. Take that as you will. Number 9, backstories that weren't in the manga. The Bandai Namco US Twitter account recently tweeted out a picture with a note from Akira Toriyama stating that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will include backstories that haven't been told in the manga, which, I mean, that's very vague, but potentially exciting. Here's hoping that these are actual canonical backstories of characters that we care about, like, I don't know, Goku's training on Yardrat that led to him learning instant transmission. That'd be pretty cool to have that gap finally filled in. There's a ton of exciting possibilities that this could point to.
Ta-da! Check it out.
My glasses!
There's still a ton of information to be revealed in the coming months, but that's everything that we know, along with a little bit of fun speculation. Thanks for watching, and for more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, make sure to check out our E3 interview with the game's creators, along with the E3 2019 trailer. And for everything else Dragon Ball Z, keep it here on IGN.